Welcome to the NitWits, a weekly roundtable discussion on the Penn State Nittany Lions, now in its 28th season. Our panel features a longtime Penn State media and NitWits tag team, Neil Rudel of the Altoona Mirror and Mark Brennan of Lions 24/7 with Fight on State. And each week we welcome a former Nittany Lion as our special guest analyst. The NitWits are brought to you by Irwin Financial, Raymond James, a firm foundation for your financial future. By Reed and Solani Orthodontics, providing friendly, family-focused orthodontic care in Altoona, Bedford, and Huntington. By Kogan Electric, lighting the way for you. By Blair Candy Company, the one-stop shop for all your tailgating needs. Candy, snacks, paper supplies, and more. By Dorman's Jewelry, the answer is always Dorman's. By Harry's Construction, if you can dream it, we can create it. By DeLeo Games, serving the community since 1945. By Keller Engineers, delivering results, exceeding expectations. By Lions 24/7 with Fight on State, your online home for Penn State football and recruiting coverage. And by the Altoona Mirror, featuring Penn State Game Day every Friday and Penn State Extra every Monday.
What I'm doing, getting right to it. Yeah, the money is talking, I'm flowing, it's coming in just how I drew it. Yeah, you know what it is. Hey, we doing it big. Look up, there is no limit, no, we cannot settle for this. Yeah, can't stop, nah, won't stop. Yeah, it's been on live. You don't believe it, just watch.
Welcome to Nittany Nation Overtime. We're here for our open date show. As usual, I'm Neil Rudel, joined by Mark Brennan and our great friend and regular nitwit, Joe Nastasi.
Right.
Joey, good to see you.
Hey,
man.
good to see you guys. Thank you.
And perfect timing with the open date with Oregon coming in to be able to dissect the passing game. Let's start with you, Joe. Is at 3-0, but is there how much level of concern do you have about the passing game?
Well, the way I see this right now is, I see, Aller goes, we go. I mean, I think when we get really into the big games and what's really, really going to matter and when we really need the third downs, fourth downs, he goes, we go. So his consistency is going to be what is really going to drive Penn State for W's. What I see downfield from us, I mean, we stayed very, very basic. I mean, I think they've talked about it. We all know that. And for good reason. We're not going to show counterpunch on anything in these games. I mean, it is what it is. We're trying to line up and play basic football. Some of the stuff I guess I haven't seen is really the creativity in some of the routes. And we'll see that. I mean, again, we don't get the all 22, but when we get it, like you get an opportunity to go ahead and see really what they're trying to do from a concept standpoint. We really haven't seen that. And I think that, this weekend, the Oregon weekend coming up, we're going to have a chance to really get our eyes on that.
They rank 16th in the Big Ten in third down conversions, I think 37%. Given the level of competition, what are you seeing that isn't quite clicking? Because it's not as if the average third down is 15 yards. I mean, these are very makeable plays.
I think when I was watching it, I think that we could have lined up and just pushed them around and ran the football. I think they were just trying to do a couple of things in the pass game and sort of get some cohesiveness there, wide receivers and Drew, in these games that we knew our defense was going to. And I hate to sound like we knew we were going to do that, but I think that was part of what they were trying to do, in my opinion.
James didn't have a regular press conference this week on Monday, but he did meet the media. You were there as usual on this was Tuesday night, and he's starting to lament about the third down conversion rate. He's mentioned it three or four times since the game. So I just wonder, how much of a focus. Kodo Nicky's not available this week. just all what's going on internally there.
Well, it's the one glaring stat, and the one thing you think when you have a veteran quarterback like Drew Aller that you're going to be much better than that. And historically, Aller's been very accurate. The last 2 games, it's just not been there. And that's the other thing that he said back on Tuesday was Aller has a lot on his plate. Kotelnicki is asking him to do an awful lot in terms of pre-snap and all this different stuff, and he's doing a good job with that, but he's got to be more consistent in making the plays that they know he can make. And I just wonder, is there a balancing act there where you're treating this guy like an NFL quarterback? You have the green dot. You can speak up until whatever point. Maybe he needs a little help with that so he can get dialed in. I don't know, Joe. You've been out there on the field, so you have a better feel. You've had people, running at you.
Yeah. No, I mean, there's a lot. I mean, sometimes I feel like we overanalyze a little bit, but
of course, that's why we're here.
That's why we're here. But when you look at it, I think that, I mean, from a fan, you're looking at it saying, well, we should be able to just push these guys around and throw up scores like Oregon did in the last handful of games. Defense is playing so well. I mean, I think that we were looking at certain things almost like a blue-white game, or I don't want to call it a blue-white game, but you know what I mean. We're trying to really get a base understanding of what we can do, and then we're going to pull it all in. We got these 2 weeks here coming up before the season starts.
Real quick. In those first 3 games, they were never in doubt of losing. So that goes to what you're saying. You could afford, if they're doing that. Now, we're going to find out against Oregon if they were sandbagging a little bit, but they were never in doubt of losing. So that would have been a good opportunity to maybe take that.
And I think some of that speaks, though, to the depth they're using and how much rest the approach. I just wonder, can you turn it on and off based on the competition?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if it's a turn on or off. I think a lot of that has to do with the veteran team. So I think if you had a younger team, I think you're just kind of emptying the bag a little bit more in these games to really let them play. Like I said, I think there was times we could have lined up there and really schematically ran the football how we wanted to. It didn't look pretty, but we could have on those third down scenarios. I think they were really, again, addressing like a blue-white game and trying to play like that. Now, what I didn't love a lot of times was separation from just straight, you got to get open kind of routes. We'll see as it goes on, but we didn't really have, we didn't put them in those scenarios to get them open, but it was more one-on-one and try and get yourself open. So we'll see how it goes in those scenarios when it's a must-throw situation.
One of the narratives that have emerged is, A, how well Probola has played at Missouri, and B, how the receivers that have left these last couple of years, Keandre Lambert-Smith, did very well at Auburn, is in the NFL now, and Wallace is having a great year at Mississippi State.
Mississippi State, yeah. Is that a question for me?
Well,
here?
yeah.
Oh man. To it. So hey, I was.
Were they better
that.
than they got credit for? I mean, is it?
Yeah, I mean, I think a lot of it's different plays. Sometimes people fit in different spots. Different coaches, it works out better for them in a different scheme. I did see Ole Miss when they were. It was Ole Miss, not Mississippi State, right?
Yeah.
Ole Miss. He's at Ole Miss. So.
No, Mississippi State. I'm sorry.
He's Mississippi State. Yeah. So watching some of that, but there's the other one was with us last year.
He was at
Evans.
Oh.
Yeah, Evans is at Washington.
Right. Yeah. So I mean, again, we will see. I mean, time will tell. We just get W after W and stack these wins. We're going to play some defense this week. We'll see.
I don't think the receivers have been the issue, though, Neil. And maybe it was just that Trey Wallace needed a different spot. But to me, you look at those 3 guys who have come in. I think they're all there at like 14, 15 catches. What I love is the balance, and what I think is going to be key moving forward is the consistency, because that's what you never had it with Keandre Lambert-Smith. You never had it with Trey Wallace. You never had it with Amari Evans. Are you going to get it with these guys? I don't know, but that's going to be something to keep an eye on.
You did see the emphasis, though.
We got to take a quick break. From now on, I'll make it a question for you for the first time.
Can we take a break, Joe?
We'll be right back.
The NitWits are being brought to you by Irwin Financial Raymond James, a firm foundation for your financial future. By Reed and Salaney Orthodontics, providing friendly, family-focused orthodontic care in Altoona, Bedford, and Huntingdon. And by Kogan Electric, lighting the way for you.
You're watching Nittany Nation Overtime.
There you go, Joe.
Oh, wow, there we go.
flavor.
Yeah.
How did it feel to be an honorary captain? We haven't had you since then.
Look at that baby girl right there. That's my sweetheart, Jasmine. Look at that. No, it was great. You know what? It was really a lot of fun. I mean, they did it really good for it. I mean, I think, at my age now, looking back on it and looking at that scenario, I think 10 years ago it might not have meant as much. Now it seemed it meant a lot more to me, because I think you had to kind of stack some, not just credentials, but, who you are and what you've done over your life and the things you've done in the community. And it felt really good to be asked that. I mean, I was really taken back, and I was really honored to have it. So it was a great weekend. Talked to a lot of people at Penn State. And it was a lot of fun. Really was welcoming. It was really fun.
I think we could all agree Jazz got her good looks from her mom. Thankfully,
for sure.
And hopefully she gets her athletic ability from mom too.
Oh, hey there, yeah. At least with twins. That's good. That was a good one. No, it was a lot of fun. It was good to have them with me, just to go. And they really tied it in with Dante, so it made it nice that he's there.
Hey, and you've had a great Penn State family. I mean,
we do.
JoJo played baseball,
football, all graduates there. A lot of blue and white.
Quick correction. Trey Wallace is at Mississippi, so we'll stand corrected. Okay, let's get to the running game. Katron Allen has outplayed Nick Singleton so far this year. How do you see it shaking out against Oregon? I mean, because this is a game where every series matters.
Yeah, I don't think you're not in a situation where you could afford to give Singleton twice as many carries as they did last week with the hopes of shaking him loose. So I think Katron has got to be 1 and Nick 1A at this point, just based on what we've seen through 3 games. I mean, Katron is getting it done. I mean, when Joe talked about, I think that they could have been more effective on third down. Was that what we were getting at? I mean, Katron is getting 6, 7, 8 yards a carry.
Yeah, offensive line. I mean, one of the things I see with Fat Man versus Nick is that his vision's better. I just think he sees it a little bit better. I mean, again, just from just watching the games, but Nick has the home run speed. But of course, Fat's been, he's been running well and looking quick at the same time. So good 1-2 punch. I like the number 3 guy too we have. I think he's played well. We're going to lean on the offensive line. I mean, I think that these are going to be grinded out. I think they're going to be lower scoring. Again, this is I'm talking about going into
teasing your pick.
Going into Oregon. It's just the reason is because I think we got to beat them up. Ohio State beat them up when they played them in the game, and I think we had our opportunity in that game. We just had to get in a track meet with them last year. Yep. So I think it's going to be something similar, but we've got to put it on our pace, our tempo.
You mentioned some of the play calling and the way what they were doing in the run game. I noticed it seemed to me they were running like a lot of short side pitches. I thought I was watching the old TV quarterbacks.
We moved to further action in the fourth quarter.
Right. So what kind of surprises personnel-wise do you think could possibly be in store?
Personnel-wise?
Yeah, so maybe some guys that haven't been used that much. That
I don't think we're going to see surprises personnel-wise. I think the guys you have seen so far are who you're going to see. Could Kobe Howard maybe do some things as a young wide receiver? Maybe, but Franklin's on record as saying he's got to get things done on special teams. So, no, I mean, I think the guys who have played, now could we see some different things from them? And one would be, Singleton, we know how effective he can be in the passing game. I think Katron Allen could be even more effective in the passing game than he's been. And we really started to see them utilize the tight ends in the last game.
Yeah.
Reynolds, to me, they could have had even more completions to him. He's not Tyler Warren, but he's really, really, really good. Yeah. And I think he's a guy that I would look out for to potentially have a big game against Oregon.
Do they move Singleton to, I know King Mack, and now you're close to my heart. King Mack has been a good returner.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
But do you move Singleton back to that spot for this game?
I could see that. Yeah, I mean, I could see that happening. I do like King, what he's doing in the special teams. He's doing a great job. Special teams, has been, I think, a lot better this year. It's looked good. I mean, return's been good. Again, it's really tough to tell on these opponents, but again, I see this offense is going to move on Drew's accuracy and his ability to make decisions. Now, some of the things I want to go back a little bit on. One of the things that I saw a couple times, we had a couple of home runs that we missed that didn't even get looked at. That would be more of my concern than anything, more of not the accuracy. Because accuracy, I think when he's tight and putting the world on his shoulders, he'll take a deep breath and not be emotional. but there were some home runs that we just missed.
And your veteran quarterback has to see that. I mean, it's understandable when it's a new guy, but that's where I think Franklin's looking for consistency.
Yeah, and that would be what I would see, because there were some that I'm like.
Yeah, they missed Hudson. They did have Ross open deep. It didn't really angle it great.
Correct.
But
right.
then there have been, we've talked about.
So that was accuracy, but the other one.
A couple other guys, he just kind of checked it down to.
Yeah.
And his yards per attempt is down.
Yeah.
These last half a dozen games, going back to last year.
And sometimes that does happen based on what they're doing, over the top coverage, and if they're going to bracket deep and do some things like that, you are. But some of that stuff concerned me a little bit, because those weren't catch and run balls. Those were more like, you know what I mean, a little high, a little on the wrong number type scenario. So those make a difference, especially when you're hitting guys in the flat. You got to get it where they can move it upfield.
Dan Orlovsky's got nothing on you. We could have a chalkboard in here.
Give me the white. Where's the whiteboard? And I'll get going on that. Let's go.
All right, we will get to framing up this game, the significance for the team, for James, right after this.
The NitWits are being brought to you by Blair Candy Company, the one-stop shop for all your tailgating needs. Candy, snacks, paper supplies, and more. By Dorman's Jewelry. The answer is always Dorman's. And by Harry's Construction. If you can dream it, we can create it.
You're watching Nittany Nation Overtime.
Welcome back. The NitWits have convened on the open date. Looking forward to the Oregon game, of course, next week. The game of the year at home for sure. 2 games of the year. You got to count Ohio State and maybe some other challenges, but just such an opportunity to, you touched on it last week, of sort of stymieing the narrative, the big game narrative. How do you see the significance?
Well, as we tape this, Oregon has yet to play Oregon State, but I'm guessing that's going to be a rather lopsided affair. So if you're a Penn State fan, I think you have to be happy with what you've seen from Oregon, steamrolling everybody they've played. I mean, earning that number 4 ranking, that's a legit number 4 team coming in here. And we're to the point now where, for the program, for James Franklin, for Drew Aller, I think these, winning the big game is important. Now, if they lose this game, is that going to eliminate them from playoff contention? Absolutely not. But there's more to it for Penn State. I mean, I think it's time for them to come out. All these veterans came back with the sole intention of winning a national title, and prove what you're all about. Prove that you're one of those programs. We've seen it through the years when some of these better West Coast teams have come in. Penn State's taken care of business. Now's the time for this group to step up and do the same.
Oh yeah, stakes are high. I mean, for sure. I mean, and like you were saying, the way the setup is now with the playoffs and how everything goes. At one time, this would have been for the national title, because you couldn't lose anything to win the title. Now with the way it's set up, yes, but again, so much is right. And just to reiterate on some of the things you were saying, huge for Penn State, huge for James. This is the game of the year right now, right here in front of us, because you have to get this one so you can go in there. You get this one here against Oregon, now you can really, really, let the hair down and play well the rest of the year, because you got that taken care of.
Yeah, I mean, this oils up the wheels of the national championship bandwagon to roll, and they have not been in this position for a while. And if they don't win this game, yes, they could still go to Columbus. They could still have a great year. They could still win a national championship potentially, but this would remove that cloud, the big game James thing, and allow them, and if they lose the game, it's going to hang over them until they get into Columbus and win.
Yeah.
So I think it's their perfect opportunity with the whiteout. The crowd is just going to be, it's just going to be a special electric atmosphere.
It is.
I'm optimistic how they're going to play without tipping off.
People were booing during the FAU game, or FIU game. I'm sorry, excuse me, I'm getting my teams mixed up. But the
screwing up your Fs.
Yeah, exactly. Easy. the expectations are there, and I think you need to embrace the expectations. If they lose this game, the air is going to come out of all the fans. People are going to be disappointed for weeks. You're not going to have another opportunity to prove yourself until Ohio State, and we know how that's gone over the last however many years. So take care of business now. It's important.
Huge game. Huge game.
Plus
Huge
you'll
momentum.
be wounded going to Iowa, which is no place to be bleeding.
Right. Huge game. I mean, it doesn't really get any bigger than this. Like you said, embrace it. You get the win, and like you said, I think you're on your way.
You know, and they have embraced it. I think they've embraced it better. They did, Joe. James had a practice Sunday night under the lights at the stadium, so that's a little bit different. You know, the approach. So right away, this during this 2-week period, it's been a little different.
Yeah,
mindset.
they try to get them. They try to get the body set for the time they're going to be playing. You know, they've done that over the years. But yeah, I mean, again, the one thing that and I said it on the last show we had was the 1-0 mentality is just so important, especially when you have a team like this. You know, when there's such expectations, it is so. You know, fans are looking at Oregon and Ohio State, and those are the only games. But you got Indiana, you got Iowa. You have to really embrace the practice, the rep, because if you don't, it's gonna get away from you.
Did you happen to know? And I've not heard yet. Is Oregon coming in here Thursday, or are they just traveling Friday?
I think they could afford to come in here.
I would guess,
unlike Nevada, which I don't know what if they had like frequent flyer miles that were cashing in or what. I think Oregon is going to be able to come in whenever.
Well, they also play an early game to get their week kick-started against Oregon State.
Well, and then they were at Northwestern playing a 9 a.m. game for them last week, so their clock may be a little bit rattled.
Yeah, this is going to be good. We'll see how good our defense. I think physically we got to take care of business. That's going to be the key to that.
Okay, when Massimo was in here last week, he thought maybe we would all pick Oregon. We'll see about that right after this.
The NitWits are being brought to you by DeLeo Games, serving the community since 1945. By Keller Engineers, delivering results exceeding expectations. By Lions 24/7 with Fight on State, your online home for Penn State football and recruiting coverage. And by the Altoona Mirror, featuring Penn State Game Day every Friday and Penn State Extra every Monday.
You're watching Nittany Nation Overtime.
Yep.
Wow.
A lot at stake this week. Not just a Penn State-Oregon outcome.
You could be in a real hole here now.
Let's go.
Plenty of football.
There's an easy way to probably give yourself a chance to get a football, according to Massimo.
Plenty of football left, right. Hey, I want to thank Grace Brennan for the nice shots of Joe. And how's that for a segue?
Thank you.
Right into her dad as leading off.
Yeah, I mean, I picked Penn State to lose one game this year in the regular season, and it wasn't this game. So I'm going to stick with what I thought. Jim Knowles last year at Ohio State had a couple bites at that apple of facing Oregon. In the first game, his defense gave up about 500 yards. Second game, 250. So Penn State has that going for them. I think the hidden weapon in this game is going to be Ryan Barker. I think it's been a silver lining in the struggles of the offense that this kid stepped up and hit 9 of 10, and one was blocked by a snafu. So those things I think are going to be the difference in a relatively low-scoring game. 27-21 Penn State.
Okay. Joe?
Oof. Oh, I'm going?
Yeah.
Okay, go ahead.
I'm with
All
you.
right.
Neil's in last place.
I need every advantage I can
I
get.
got you. No, I agree a lot with what Mark was saying there. I see a little bit more defense, although both offenses could put some points up. I think it's going to be a low scoring first half. I think you're going to see some traction in a second. I'm going, with a little bit of an odd score, I'm going Penn State 31, and I'm going Oregon 29. They're going to have to kick that field goal at the end there from, down one.
Okay. I got the squirrels working up there with the rubber bands. I think they're going to have to. I like the low-scoring theme. Penn State struggled with Oregon speed last year, and I think they got to get a handle just on this game, the tempo of it, the running game, the offensive line. So much of it comes down. I think they need to keep. I don't think they can win a shootout with Oregon.
Right.
So I'm going to say a little bit lower. I'm going to say Penn State 27, Oregon 24.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I know the credibility of our show if this thing lands out in Eugene somehow. But you know what? I picked it undefeated to start the season. They've been a little less impressive than I thought they would be, but I'm going to stick with it for tonight. Thank you, Joe.
Yeah,
They're
yeah,
playing the
good call.
music,
Yep,
and
yep.
thank you as well.
Absolutely.
All right.
Yep.
We'll see you next week. Bill Cons will be here.
The NitWits have been brought to you by Irwin Financial, Raymond James, a firm foundation for your financial future. By Reed and Solani Orthodontics, providing friendly, family-focused orthodontic care in Altoona, Bedford, and Huntington. By Kogan Electric, lighting the way for you. By Blair Candy Company, the one-stop shop for all your tailgating needs. Candy, snacks, paper supplies, and more. By Dorman's Jewelry, the answer is always Dorman's. By Harry's Construction, if you can dream it, we can create it. By DeLeo Games, serving the community since 1945. By Keller Engineers, delivering results, exceeding expectations. By Lions 24/7 with Fight on State, your online home for Penn State football and recruiting coverage. And by the Altoona Mirror, featuring Penn State Game Day every Friday and Penn State Extra every Monday. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next week.